Hello everyone, this is Andy from Skirmish Hobby Project again, and as you can see, the desk setup is slightly different. I'm travelling for work at the moment, but when I travel, it gives me a chance to do some of the smaller projects I've had for a while. So I've mentioned before that I play, and you'll have seen the boarding actions game. I play Tau. If you've seen the Kill Team game, you know that I played a Khorne Berserker mashup, where you may have seen this guy before. But suffice it to say, there was a period before I sort of lost interest in full 40k. I was starting to build a World Eaters army. Then I discovered boarding actions, and I realised actually you can build a pretty decent World Eaters army with not a lot of models for that. So what you are seeing here is largely the makings of a Skullsworn boarding party for the rules, which I built several months ago, and then because of life, because of many reasons, I just never got around to finishing. So when I knew I was travelling, I figured, I know what I'll do. I will get all my stuff out, and I'll see if I can't get it finished this week. Little bits to do. I've got my hobby knives. I've got several bits with me, and obviously I'll end up needing to base it. As you can see, I've got my custom Master of Executions here, and this 8-bound guy, who are mostly done to serve as a bit of a template as well. But I'll be looking to try and finish them off as best I can. Effectively, what the list will be is, minus my Khan the Betrayer model, everything you see here would fit into the list. So you'd have a Khan the Betrayer would probably go here. You've then got a Master of Executions, a unit of 5 Chaos Terminators, which I did drop some money on to get custom face grills because they just look a little bit more World Eatery now. And then a unit of 8-bound, regular 8-bound, not exalted, because their rules are slightly better against infantry, and boarding actions is a predominantly infantry-based game. But yeah, so the plan here is just going to be, there's a little bit of speed painting that can apply to all of it. I will do pictures. I'll talk you guys through as I go as well. But yeah, the plan is just to get this built up ready so I can start putting that on the tabletop for boarding actions as well. Anyways, you know the drill. I will see you on the other side. Okay, so once I've done all the gold trim on these guys, I got slightly carried away and started running ahead with my Mechanicum Standard Grey. I like that colour because it's a very good gunmetal. So as you can see, for the Reaper Autocannon, I can't remember what it's actually called, but basically for his giant honking machine gun that's attached to his arm, I've gone over some of like the barrel and some of the machine bits in a bit of a grey. The rest will go into a black. It's got a nice contrast, and I will look to pick out some of those detail bits on the catches here with some black as well, just so it's got a bit more vibe to it. I'm choosing to do a lot of this first because once that's done, I can put it on one side and then I can glue it onto the model when I'm done. But also, I'll struggle to do it with the one hand I've got, but effectively where that can comes on here, these skulls at the front, I won't be able to reach and paint in due course. So my next bet is probably to carry on with all the, if not do all the gunmetal on this bit, is very much do that arm. And then I will likely go around and pick out the skulls on everything. Just so once that's done, I can then stick that on and largely Bob's your uncle. Yeah, skulls and the little loincloth things. I can't decide whether I want to do that as fleshy colour or a brown. I will have to decide, and you'll probably see what I'm going to do. Okay, going back to this because it's been a busy couple of weeks with other stuff, and for various other reasons, I ended up getting the pillage models done sooner, which you will have seen the videos come out before this, even though I started this beforehand. Long story short, I'm coming back to the Terminators now and having a little look. Looked back at the previous footage. Obviously, I went ahead in the Mechanicum Standard Grey, and then I was looking at black and buff, maybe some flashes going on there. Yeah, plan is going to be to go around and do that Mechanicum Standard Grey on everyone, because there's little bits of armour and stuff to pick up, and then black on weapons, horns, power joints, and all that sort of good fun stuff. So we'll see where we go, and then I'll take pictures from each one. Before I get onto the other paint, I just realised I never actually explained what the colours did on it. So, as you can see, the white on the eye is not gone particularly great on this one, but white has been used for fur, helmet base colour, so I can get a more vibrant colour off the top of it, eye details and that sort of stuff. Black has obviously gone on combi bolters for the main weapon, horns on this guy, and anywhere where there's like tubing or power armor sort of connector bits on the bottom. And I've also done it on the bottom side of the chain blade here, because obviously the top bit is, or sorry, the chain fist rather, because the top bit's obviously part of the armor. The bottom bit I thought would be a reflecting. Oh, and on his arm, he's obviously got like a skull and helmet thing, so that's gone there. The colour I use for all the skulls is one called buff, mostly because it's the nearest to like a skeletony, sorry, sort of off-white colour I've got. And then the loincloth I've got is in a flesh tone, because that is obviously what it comes up as, and the idea they're world eaters, they're butchers, they're going to show you off what they've done to your mates before they've done them. And then Mechanicum Standard Grey on the spikes and the heads again. All of this is somewhat rough, because the whole perk of priming in red for world eaters and given their lore is anywhere where I make a mistake and it's not quite full and there's a bit of red showing, guess what? That's the blood of their enemies. I'll get away with it. Certain places like here where you can see I've gone over with the gold a little bit. Actually, I'm fairly happy, because once I put the Nuln oil on, that's where the black is going to sort of manifest, so you won't see that too bad. And again, when you're playing this far away, you can't really see those bits anyway. Right, so on to the helmet painting and the final bits, and then I'll come back before I then do the shading. Okay, so after all of that, here is where we are. So as you can see, the colours I've used in the background, I've run ahead a little bit, used the black, the buff, the flesh colour, the white, and some Mechanicum Standard Grey, just so they're all now looking like they've got a bit more character. What it has revealed to me is, you see on this, there's a load of detail I'm going to need to pick out on the Storm Bolters. That is not a problem. I can go back with the gold in a little bit. All the colours are looking quite flat at the moment. Again, for those of you that watch my Saxons video, you know Nuln oil is going to come and do some good work. At this stage, what is next? Well, as you can see on some of these spike racks, we have got helmets. So I've got 3 Space Marine helmets and 2 Imperial Guard ones. So what needs to happen with that is Imperial Guard, nice and easy. I've just got a green to go on there as their helmets. The Space Marines, though, I'm going to pick 3 legions. This guy here with all the fur, I like the idea that is actually, he killed a space wolf and nicked all the fur that's come off of it. So between the Mechanicum Grey and this blue and maybe a little bit of white, I'm going to try and make the sort of space wolvesy grey colour to go on the helmet as well. This guy, I think, is going to be an Imperial Fist. If not, it's a White Scar, I don't know. And then lastly, on my champion, where is he? Yeah, here he is, the champion. It's only right that he goes around and parades the helmet of everybody's favourite poster boys. That will be an Ultramarines helmet, because the Ultramarines deserve to die. Cool, that's that. Like I said, the next one is going to be picking out those bits. Otherwise, though, I am basically there with all the finer details. I need to figure out what I'm doing about the accursed weapons and whether or not I want that to be coloured on the claws or what. But again, I'll figure out from there. And then it's just going to be touching a few bits up. And we're good. Before I get onto the other paint, I just realised I never actually explained what the colours did on it. So, as you can see, the white on the eye is not gone particularly great on this one, but white has been used for fur, helmet base colour, so I can get a more vibrant colour off the top of it. Eye details and that sort of stuff. Black has obviously gone on combi bolters for the main weapon, horns on this guy, and anywhere where there's like tubing or power armor sort of connector bits on the bottom. And I've also done it on the bottom side of the chain blade here, because obviously the top bit is, or sorry, the chain fist rather, because the top bit's obviously part of the armor. The bottom bit I thought would be a reflecting. Oh, and on his arm, he's obviously got like a skull and helmet thing, so that's gone there. The colour I use for all the skulls is one called buff, mostly because it's the nearest to like a skeletony, sorry, sort of off-white colour I've got. And then the loincloth I've got is in a flesh tone, because that is obviously what it comes up as, and the idea they're world eaters, they're butchers, they're going to show you off what they've done to your mates before they've done them. And then Mechanicum Standard Grey on the spikes and the heads again. All of this is somewhat rough, because the whole perk of priming in red for world eaters and given their lore is anywhere where I make a mistake and it's not quite full and there's a bit of red showing, guess what? That's the blood of their enemies. I'll get away with it. certain places like here where you can see I've gone over with the gold a little bit, actually I'm fairly happy, because once I put the Nuln Oil on, that's where the black is going to sort of manifest, so you won't see that too bad. And again, when you're playing this far away, you can't really see those bits anyway. Right, so on to the helmet painting and the final bits, and then I'll come back before I then do the shading. And so that is that. All the major painting is now done on these guys. I'm fairly happy with where they are. As I said before, though, they're looking quite flat. There's a few error marks here and there. And so there's only two steps left to go. One, a good old Nuln Oil wash, just to get into those recesses, cover up some of the mistakes, give them like a nice a finish and effect, and then I will be basing them. However, in my little box of tricks, I then discovered I also have two other models that are already painted and just in need of a wash. Some of you will recognise this guy from the Kill Team Battle Report. This is my custom-made Master of Executions, which I've just done a little bit of touching up on as well. Again, in dire need of a Nuln Oil wash because he's not looking the greatest at the moment. And then this is a Slaughterbound, which I got when the model first came out, that I've used a few times in boarding actions games. Again, as you can see, the general paintwork's done, but it needs a good Nuln Oil wash. So I'll get them done as I'm going through it. And then the fun and games of basing them. If any of you watched the Saxon Warband one, you'll note that I didn't show the basing on that one. I just sort of did it off camera. I will do this on here, and I'll show you as a bit of an intro on this one, but then I'll do it as a dedicated video later in the day, showing people how to do it, because it's actually surprisingly simple. But if you don't know what you're doing, it can be a bit daunting. All right then, guys, I will take pictures and a video of the basing, and we'll see you on the other side. And there we are, wash is done on all the models. I'll take the picture in a second, but as you can see, I've already used some of the basing glue. It's basically just kids' PVA, you don't have to spend on the expensive stuff. Put it all on the base, got my grit to one side. All you do to base it is once you've covered the area that you want to have based up, you just get this in there, give it a good old twist around so that it gets to the bottom. Give it a few seconds, just for all the grit and stuff to adhere to the model. Give it a good shake, up you come, and obviously just wait for all the excess to come off. Give it a tap for good measure, and that's it. One based model. What about you? It just adds a real nice effect to it. And that is that. The Terminators are now painted, based, washed, all that good stuff. They're squared away, and as is my Master of Execution and my Slaughterbound as well. So a productive little mini project all round on that one. Up until the point I realised when I went into the garage to get some other stuff, that not only do I have this little tub full of 8-bound, Exalted 8-bound already built and primed and ready to go, I then had a box of Khorne Berserkers waiting to be built, and some more Exalted 8-bound to be built as well. So yeah, this may or may not have to become a new mini project for me to finish off. Just so I can then do boarding action in all its good and glory, and then hey, maybe even 1,000 points of World Eaters at the local club. Either way, thanks for your patience, everyone. Please let me know in the comments whether there was anything you want me to look at in future, or any other tips or questions based on this. Feel free to please like and subscribe and share the videos around. As always, this is amateur level of let's play the game rather than worry about who's got the best models and etc. etc. But until the next time, guys, happy hobbying.